Last week, I raced Sears and all, and it was without a doubt the hardest race of my life. But it's time for me to bounce back, and just 7 days later, I'm lining up for Tatra Skymarathon, a 30-kilometer trail race with over 6,000 feet of vertical gain through the Tatra Mountains, and this time, it's in the pouring rain. After Sears and all, I drove to Locarno, Switzerland with the rest of the Golden Trail crew because we still had a week until our next race and we wanted to use that time to check out the finals course. We're on a trail, it's in the shade. It's nice not being in the sauna anymore, but I think we're about to re-enter sauna land.
Sauna land ahead.
AKA Switzerland. Checking out the course was great, but the state of my quads, it was absolutely dismal after Sears and all. Nevertheless, it was a good couple days and really fun to meet everyone. The next stop on the trip was Zakopane, Poland, where Tatra Skymarathon would be, and since there was a week between races, I wanted to get in a little bit of a workout this week, so I did a warm-up and then changed into my flats before heading out to do a fartlek style workout. Just finished my workout. There is nowhere here that's flat to run, so I was supposed to do 12 by 1 minute flat, but I ended up doing 12 by 1 minute hills because flat doesn't exist. Went pretty well. Still stinging from the race, like physically and mentally and emotionally, but good to get a workout in, spin the legs a bit. During this time, we were staying at the Polish Olympic Training Center, which was amazing, but I also took some time to go and explore the local area a little bit. 2 days out from the race, I actually went on the treadmill because my quads just couldn't take any downhill. Later that day, I went outside to do some mobility, get some fresh air, and just spend some time alone. Coming off of Sears and all, my confidence was definitely shaken, and having bad races like that is one of my biggest triggers for eating disorder thoughts and bad body image, which is why it's important for me to consistently talk to a therapist and work through some of my limiting beliefs, because as long as I'm competing at a high level, they will come up. Like, I will have bad races. I'm grateful to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video because through BetterHelp, I'm able to connect with a licensed therapist who's trained to listen and give me helpful, unbiased advice. Even when I'm traveling, I can stay consistent with my therapy appointments because BetterHelp is available via my phone or computer through video chat, a phone call, or even messaging. Getting started with BetterHelp is easy. First, you go to their site. You can use my link, betterhelp.com/Allie Ostrander. Then you answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you with a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You'll be matched with a therapist usually within 48 hours, so you can get started quickly. Let BetterHelp connect you with a therapist that can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/Allie Ostrander or choose Allie Ostrander during sign up and enjoy a special discount off your first month. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. The day before the race, I definitely felt nervous, but I also just felt weird because I'd spent the entire week trying to convince myself that I wanted to race and that it was something I wanted to pursue, which is weird for me because I usually am very intrinsically motivated to want to race, but it's just been really hard coming off of Sears and all. I was severely impacted by my poor performance, both mentally, physically, emotionally, all of the above, and then being in an unfamiliar environment and trying to bounce back from it was really tough, but I was doing everything I could to prepare for the race and to get myself ready to stand on that line feeling good. About 30 minutes before the race started, it began raining, and then after the race started, it literally immediately poured rain so hard. This was the most aggressive rain I have ever experienced in my life, so I apologize for the clips looking a little fuzzy. It's not bad camera quality, it's just such thick density of rainfall. But anyways, the first 11K of this race were kind of flat. There was one small climb in there, and there was some single track and old farm roads, but it was really a fun part of the course. So I was enjoying myself a lot. I was also trying to measure my effort carefully and not go out too hard. So I was paying attention to where my heart rate was at, trying to go off feel, but also going a little bit off of that. I was already feeling a lot more confident about this race as opposed to COROS and all. However, back at the start finish line, the conditions were worsening to the point where they actually didn't start the men's race, and they were worried about the safety of the course. We were approaching aid station 2, which is the point in this race right before the big climb begins, and when we got there, they actually stopped us. So the race was canceled after 11 kilometers in, or a little over 7 miles. We got to an aid station and they told us to stop and wait 30 minutes. They might restart the race because the conditions were dangerous on the mountain due to the thunder, lightning, rain, and the exposed sections and rock that were on the course later in the race. So they stopped us and put us in a little hut, gave us some tea, and said we'll just wait and see. But they ultimately ended up canceling the race completely, so no one got any points for the Golden Trail series from Tatra Skymarathon. Originally in the series, there are 8 regular season races and you can score 4 of them, but now they've changed that to 3 since some people were counting on this race to score and weren't able to have it. It's a bummer because now COROS and all will weigh more heavily in my final score, and that was obviously a rough race for me. And also this race was actually going pretty well, and I feel like I learned from COROS and all, and I went out a lot more conservative and was really keeping my heart rate in check in a good place, making sure I was just below threshold heading into that big climb. I felt like I had the legs for it and I was really excited. But of course, it's easy to say that when I didn't have to finish the rest of the race, so you never know what would have happened, but I feel like it definitely was gonna go better than COROS and all, so I personally am really bummed. I was sitting in 11th place in a pack from 8 to 11 when we got to this aid station, and we were just about to start the big climb. I felt like I was in a fun spot to like be racing people, feeling competitive. But yeah, didn't really get the opportunity to do that, but I do think it was a step in the right direction as far as my confidence goes. It was a little bit of a bounce back from COROS and all, not a full-on re-initiation of my confidence in myself, but it was something to make me feel like, okay, I actually am athletic, I can run. So that's good. And now it's just time to look towards the next 2 Golden Trail races, which are both in California, Headlands and Mammoth, which are going to be really important for me now if I want to qualify to the finals. Time to get down to business, get back to training. But before that, a shout out to the race organizers of Tatra. The atmosphere and hospitality were unmatched. And that's all for now, folks.